It is my pleasure to introduce our next guest. She is a Sister of Social Service. She has a doctorate of ministry degree from Howard University in Washington, D.C. Before coming to St. Mary Center, she served as an assistant professor of faith and culture and the director of field education for the Franciscan School of Theology in Berkeley, California. She left that position in 2012 to become the cultural competency trainer and assistant coordinator of innovations projects for St. Mary Center in Oakland. Please welcome Sister Eva Marie Lewis.
Good afternoon. When I was asked to share some reflections on the Martin that we didn't know, I found the topic to be rather curious. Because I found myself thinking, what more is there to know about such a public figure? But anyone who takes the time to surf the internet can easily find a long list of unknown facts about Dr. Martin Luther King. For instance, he was born Michael Lewis King, but decided to change his name when he entered the seminary to become a minister. He was only 15 years old when he began college, and he spent 2 summers during his college days picking tobacco in Connecticut to help pay for his education. He is still the youngest man to win the Nobel Peace Prize, which he won at the age of 35. And Martin gave the $54,000 prize money, as well as most of his other earnings, to fund the ongoing activities of the civil rights movement, leaving him and his family to live what he called relevant poverty, which meant that they lived on what they needed and nothing more. One of the most surprising things I learned while surfing the net was that Dr. King was not always a brilliant speaker. He got a C on one of his first high school speech classes, even though he would later become one of the most brilliant orators of the 20th century. It just goes to show that even the most brilliant people have to start somewhere. They need to be encouraged, taught, and challenged. They need the opportunity to develop their gifts, and they need to keep company with people who can help them place those gifts at the service of their community. Martin believed that the founding principles of the United States required the creation of what he called the beloved community, a society that is not driven by making profits, but one that was built by developing relationships of mutual concern and care. As Terry Nesman reminded us earlier, this led to Martin getting involved in the Poor People's Campaign and encouraging an Occupy movement that would bring poor people of all races to create a tent city in Washington, D.C. on the National Mall. He wanted to put a face on the poor, and he believed this movement would cause legislators and common folk to challenge the federal budget that was spending more money on the military than human rights. He wanted to challenge the national agenda of putting a man on the moon instead of sending children to school and encouraging adults to do meaningful work. He wanted legislators and common folk to know that migrant workers, maids, miners, tradesmen, factory workers, and common laborers all had the right to a living wage. Today, Martin King would surely support a homeless Bill of Rights. But more than this, he would be advocating for communal support systems of education, recreation, health care, decent housing, employment, and a living wage that would allow every person to live with dignity, purpose, direction, and hope. He would be advocating for each of us to do whatever we can, big or small, to dream a better world and do whatever is necessary to make it a reality. The Martin we didn't know is more like the Martin we didn't see. A man who spent a great deal of time in prayer, a lot of time listening to the noble ambitions of people in pain, a lot of time learning how to harness his anger into a driving force that would not be silent in the face of lies, would not be still in the face of injustice, and would not be pacified by simply dreaming. He knew, and we must always remember, that the measure of our dignity is not our popularity, but our ongoing commitment to keep on trying to do the right thing. He would want us to know that the value of our lives is not how often we get beaten down by life, but how often we get up to speak the truth again. He would want us to know that when you labor for the common good, you inspire other people to do the same thing. He would want us to know that the content of our character is not measured by the poor choices we made in the past, but by the positive commitments that we make to the future. Martin King would want us to know that we can make the world a better place if we keep an open heart, a generous spirit, and a firm resolve to wake up every morning asking, Lord, what would you have me do? Martin King would want to be honored by a people who are willing to turn their own dreams into deeds.
Thank you, Christian. That was great.